We thought we had come to fight heresy. We thought we had come to fight traitors. We thought we were in the right. Alas, we had become that which we had sworn to destroy. Belissa burned, and it was our hands that burned it. We were the traitors. We are never forgotten, very few forgiven, but in battle the Emperor offers us redemption, and in oaths of protection we offer Belissa penance. We are the unforgiven souls. I am Haydn Thranduil, and I shall never be forgiven.
Rebel Rogue.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Rebel Rogue, where today, for the anniversary video, we will be painting a Terminator Captain. The first colour we will be using for this is French Mirage Blue. We'll be painting this onto the armour. I did end up painting this on the shoulder pads, on the elbow pads, but later on we will be changing it. This Captain is for my own chapter, but it's for a very special part of the chapter called the Unforgiven Souls, and in this video I'm going to tell you a bit about them. The Unforgiven Souls are a demi-company that were formed from the first company many years ago, and they were sent to Belissa, which is a planet I created where I've got lore for Feudal Guard, which is like an Inquisitor thing. Anyway, they were sent there with an Inquisitor to deal with another Inquisitor. Of course, they were tricked, and they thought that the Inquisitor was heretic, the one they were trying to fight, but it turned out the one they were going with was a heretic and was completely going against all codes and such like. So yes, they were punished quite severely. So now we are putting some Eshin Grey onto the knee pad, is it the knee pads? Certainly it's the elbow pads, and I think it's the hands as well. You can see I'm using a bit of sprue just to get paint out onto my dry palette. So yes, they were punished, and they were made to wear yellow shoulder pads, a yellow left shoulder pad, as a mark of being a traitor, of betrayal and deceit. But they also wear this sort of grey armour, because that's the colour of their armour originally, sort of stable and all that. It's also like a penal company as well, because if you commit a crime, so it's a serious crime, for example, if you're a traitor but you repent, or if you're a renegade and you repent from this chapter, or you do something absolutely terrible, you will be sent into the Unforgiven Souls. The only way to be forgiven is to be forgiven by either the Chapter Master, the Reclusiarch, or the Master of Sanctity. Because this chapter is based a lot on honour, they put an awful lot of value on honour and also becoming enlightened, which is to follow the Emperor's path, as it were. Now I'm using some Vallejo German tank crew to paint in all the joints on this armour. So yes, they were dishonourable. As a result, they were punished by going here into the Betal, the company, and I believe it's only, is it 5? I can't remember what the exact number I've decided on is, but I think it's only about 5 of them have ever been forgiven. One of them is now a lieutenant, and 3 of them in another company, and 3 of them became honour guard, but due to a heretic chapter master who was then denounced and got rid of through politics, they ended up trying to kill him, and they took down a good portion of his honour guard. They denounced, they stopped, they basically revoked their oaths. Anyway, I'm now painting ochre brown onto the shoulder pad. I do change this, sort of go back and forth between ochre brown and desert yellow, which you'll see in another step when I do Desert Yard. There we are, Desert Yard. I then paint this onto all of the parchment, for example on the purity seals. We then highlight this later on, or we will, maybe. I will mention now that this is only a base coat and wash video, and also you will notice throughout this video that I don't paint the cables on the Thunderhammer. This is due to time constraints. If you'd like to see a part 2 of this, please put it down in the comments below. If not, then I'll just highlight it and paint the rest of it in my own time. But yes, the Terminators ended up incompletely. What was it now? They ended up revoking their oaths to protect the Chapter Master because they were on a guard. They were permanent on a guard, rather than being selected by the Chapter Master. Yes, so they revoked their oaths to protect the Chapter Master as permanent honor guard, thus becoming, what is it? I've got a name for them. Can't remember what they are. There's a name. I created a name for those. Now we're using a bit of gunmetal, metallic air to paint in all the metal parts. But they became sentinels. That's it. Part of the honor guard who aren't sworn to protect the Chapter Master. But they ended up trying to kill him. There were 3 Terminators tried to kill him because he was a heretic and behaving heretically. And he had a really large honor guard. I think he had about 35 honor guard, or 25, and there were 3 of them, and they managed to kill most of them before being taken down themselves, sacrificed themselves in the name of the Emperor. Anyway, yes, so at the time they managed to, the chapter itself, the Master of Sanctity, the Ecclesiarch, and all the main masters of things unanimously voted to depose the Chapter Master and to get rid of him, essentially to impeach him. Well, not impeach him really, but basically to stop him being Chapter Master, which they can do. So yeah, it's very interesting. I do need to write some of this stuff down. It's all in its headcanon. I also don't have a name for the chapter. Yeah. You can see I'm painting the chains, the little sensor on top of his shoulder, not his shoulders, it's right back. All the chains, the head of the Thunderhammer, the eagles, the sight on the combi bolter, storm bolter, and also the servos. If you're enjoying the music, I'd just like to mention that I composed it myself. Those who know music may recognise it as a 12-bar blues. If you could hear it over the sound of the lead guitar. Now we're using some Vallejo model colour Violet to paint the cloak. I can't remember if I then paint the inside of the cloak a different colour. I think I might do. But yes, I just paint the cloak in violet. I quite like this purples and such like. I always try and paint the cloaks different colours depending on who it is, which captain it is, just to add some variation. Otherwise I just have a chapter of red cloaked captains. Interesting fact, I almost have like enough captains to do the entire chapter. I think I'm currently missing 2 captains, and that's it. Because I've got because this chapter has, now I'm painting Retributor armor onto the wings and skulls and a few other details. This chapter has a Master Reconnaissance, and they also have Master Recruits, so that's 10th Company and Vanguard as well. Of course, the Master Recruits can become the Master Reconnaissance in certain times, but classically there'd be 2 of them, because the Vanguard is essentially its own company. So yes, I've got most of them, and then I've got the Captain of the Unforgiven, which is an extra company, and I've got the Chapter Master. So I I have more than 10 captains. I just need 2 more captains to complete the whole set. And I haven't painted all of them. I think I've only painted like 2 of them, which is a bit bad. So, yes. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you aren't enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see part 2, if I do it, then put it down in the comments down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you like this new style of video, please put it in the comments down below, otherwise I might end up going back to the old style, which is easier to edit. But yes, now we're using some dwarf flesh to paint in the face. There is a bit where I can't quite decide where to put the khaki, but that's in a bit. So yes, I'm painting dwarf flesh onto the skin, because it's a skin tone and I don't want to work up all the way from the bottom, painting like a competition standard face. Or a display standard face. I do like my characters looking quite nice, but sometimes you can go too far with these things. Now we're using khaki, and we're painting in these skulls on the model. Some of the skulls at least, not all of them. Some skulls and some bone details and such like. I was going to paint the hair this colour. You can see I falter and hesitate as to whether to paint the hair, but that's mainly... I then realised I'm not painting a Blood Angel, even though this captain is a Blood Angels captain. But I'm not meant to be painting a Blood Angel, so I end up painting his hair grey with the aim to paint it white because I think he's quite old. There we are, cold grey. This is painted on the hair of the model. I also paint this onto the Crux Terminatus, the emblem of being a Terminator. I never really know what colour to paint Crux Terminatus, because they always seem to be different colours. And now for the final stage, this is the wash. We are mixing 1 part Umber Wash from Vallejo to 1 part Army Painted Darkshell. And we are washing this across the whole model. I do end up cutting it soon because of I don't want this to... There we are. I end up cutting it because I don't want to take up all your time with washing and all of the space on my phone. So yes, if you have enjoyed this video, again, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. And if you think other people would enjoy this video, please share it with them. And as always, I'll see you for the next video.